today's episode of PJ and the Beard, we're going to do kind of a dare to compare. But before we talk about what we're going to compare, I want to ask you to consider subscribing to the channel, click on the notification bell. Your interaction with us helps us interact with great people in the industry. And part of this episode was made possible with our relationship with Zzounds and a few other things. But the Beard's going to tell you about what we're doing tonight.
Yeah, so we're still playing with this. This has been in a lot of videos since we got it. This is the Gibson SG Junior. That's not scratches. That's just we haven't peeled the plastic off yet. We kind of like when it's officially staying here.
We may do it in a video, peel it back.
Yeah, when it's officially staying here, we'll take that off. Although I will say all the stuff in the last shipment from Zzounds is packed up, going in the mail tomorrow. Except for this. So, yeah, we wanted to... We have other P90 guitars here, and we wanted to take it for a spin with them. And so before we even tell you what they are, we thought we would just show you, do a kick. You played some clean tones.
Right.
So here's the clean tone. All three of the guitars we're going to use through the Tyler JT22. And all night, pretty much, this little Echo Tour from DLS Effects is making an appearance.
Yep. All right, so you've seen the guitars in that clip. So part of what started this was that we have this Harley Benton double cutaway Junior in what we affectionately called spicy brown mustard. It's a single P90 that we've had. We've done episodes on it. So when we got in this one from Zzounds, we thought, well, here's the other P90 guitar we have. Perhaps we should do a comparison, even though we understand the body thickness is different. This is more like a Les Paul Junior. But the other thing we have is my grandfather, who's no longer with us, his 65 SG Special Les Paul. There's a weird lineage of these guitars where they were Les Pauls at one point. I'm not sure if this was in the tail end of it. It's a 65, but we maybe delve into that another time. We'll do a story about this guitar.
He called it a Les Paul.
He did. And when I cracked the case open as a 13-year-old, I'm like, that ain't no Les Paul. Because I didn't know anything at 13. I barely know anything at 56. I just played my hand. But so we have this, right? So this is maybe a little bit more one for one as far as wood construction, body type. P90s may or may not be similar. Tuners, it's pretty close. But the Harley Benton's in there for a reason, just because the price point of that guitar is amazing. So we did some clips. So what did you do with them first?
So first clip, I grabbed, I'm going to go with this one first. The 55 from LPD. We did this recently on the channel. Kind of a tweed style pedal. Not kind of, it is a tweed style pedal. Sounds amazing. So you're going to hear me. And for all of these clips, we tried to make a short clip, play all three guitars. So you're going to hear the Harley Benton first, always followed by the SG Junior, current, followed by your grandfather's guitar.
Yes, sir. All right, so that's what the Beard did with his pass, you know, with the LPD 55. I grabbed the Gain Changer by our friend David Barber, and I played all three guitars and dialed it up like this.
All right, round two for me, I grabbed David Barber, right? He shows up a lot on the channel, right? So I grabbed the Direct Drive, although this time I grabbed the version 4. The newer one has some extra switches and stuff on it, a little more tone shaping capability, but always sounds great. And took it for a spin.
Well, staying with our Dave theme, I grabbed the Reckless Driver from DLS Effects. Dave Sestito, as we talked about before, has been great to the channel. It's a pedal I haven't used that much, but I wanted to see what it sounded like with these three, and this is what it did. right, so those were the clips of the guitars. Same riff, same gear. No changing of the pedals, anything between those takes within the 3 guitars. So just kind of wrapping it up, I just want to start with the Harley Benton, because again, in the beginning I said, which one of these is not exactly like the other. It's this one. But what a great guitar for the price point. Happy with the fit and finish. Probably a little darker tone. Again, could be the width of the body, could be the P90. Definitely noted a lower output on this, according to the sound waves on the computer, and they don't really lie. But what a great guitar for the price point. And, it's supposed to be TV yellow, but I love the color that it actually is. So, yeah.
Couple quick comments.
Right.
The reason we have the Gibson Junior is because we got this because we wanted to experiment, and it was the right price point.
Right.
And I've played it live several times. I love the one pickup volume knob. I think it's very freeing. There's something about it. If you've never tried it, it's something worth doing. So we got that. I loved it. We got this in. People have ragged on us, like, on the comments on the video we did on that a long time ago. I've seen people like, oh, Harley Benton's terrible. No, it's not. Sorry. I hate to burst your bubble. It's not terrible. The neck feels good. The guitar feels good. The price point is ridiculous. And if you just want to dip your toe, it's a great starting place. So that's the Harley Benton.
So it's the obvious one that people are like, well, that wasn't a fair comparison. So
right,
moving on.
I mean, when you figure out how much it costs,
yeah,
even with the shipping from wherever, it's fair.
So we're going to move on to a nuance that has nothing to do with what it sounds like. However, ... there's the case candy and the things, and I am fortunate enough to have a lot of the original things from that guitar, to include the original bridge, which took off, or the tremolo took off, so we could do a wraparound bridge, a little bit more stable tuning. So I have that original piece, but I still have like the original strap, this red skinny strap, and then I'm pretty sure, because it's in there, that this is like the original little toolkit that came in 1965 with this guitar. Because it's in the case with it. It's red like everything else. I'm going to go with what it is. And also, my grandfather was a total baller, so he had this plate on the outside of the case, and behind me is a Gibson Skylark amp that he has also a plate on there. So, but I thought it was interesting. I open up the case, pull all this stuff out, and then the Beard opens up the case from the new SG.
What did we get? New SG came with
a
strap. Probably a little more comfortable, but probably not as much leather.
Right.
As the old ones back in the day. And then it had this little bag in it. And we honestly never even opened that middle compartment before tonight, because we were like, if we're sending this back, we just don't
want to get attached to it.
Yeah, we don't want to take a chance. So you got a warranty card in there. Look, it comes with a little multi-tool, almost like a Leatherman, but it has like
Allen wrenches.
Look for like the nut to adjust the touch rod. Everything's right there. That's a really, really nice.
It's branded Gibson on the side, so that definitely came with that guitar.
That's really cool.
Right.
A polishing cloth, and then what I thought was really cool too. Here's a picture of it on the bench. So apparently they snapped a picture before they.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So there it is. There's the stuff inside.
Nothing to do with the tone, but everything, it was like, oh, isn't that funny? Yeah. Like they have some of the similarities all these years later. So
right. So
I guess down to the guitars, right? I guess I'll go first again. It's amazing. Obviously, the sentimental value through this is through the roof, without say. But it's pretty wild. After all of these years, this P90 is really it's nice. I think it's a little different tonality, obviously, than the Roswell one on there. I think there's a chiminess. I'm pointing to the other one over there. A chiminess to that newer P90. I think two different animals. And again, just to try to be pure, for whatever reason, we started with that guitar and we dialed everything up to that, right? So we never tamed anything. We never dialed it down. We never tried to get it. Could it be a 1-for-1? Am I going to put more treble in this? We just played them for what they were. There are some nuanced differences between the two of them that you could, if you're only playing one of them, you could easily, EQ it the way you want. But love this guitar. It's a shame I don't play it more. That's probably going to change. Amazing pickup. The pickup on that one has some clarity and some top end that is pretty special. Very different. But that's my take on the two.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the one thing that was really noticeable, both of them are light.
Yeah.
The other thing that was really noticeable, this is more of a slim neck.
Right.
I think that neck's quite a bit meatier. I would even say that's meatier than the Harley Benton.
I think so. They said that this is like an early 60s tapered neck, and this obviously is now we're talking mid 60s where the profile was different.
Yeah. So it's a little meatier neck on that. You know, those tuners are from 65. They felt like when you're they felt a little fragile. Here's the thing, you know, like, is that the holy grail? Like, because everybody's vintage. Right. This guitar's killing it. Mm-hmm. You know, I'll trade you still, right? You know, like it is a 65. It's cool, but this is really cool. If you haven't figured it out, we like the Gibson SG Junior, the current Gibson SG Junior. It's cool. It's not painted white with checking and hasn't aged, but you know, really cool guitar. In love, Gibson, wonderful job. I think that's it.
Yeah.
We got a quick jam coming up to end it out. Same kind of thing as always. I had the direct drive into the Echo Tour, and Pat had the Gain Changer into the MXR
Carbon copy.
And so thanks everybody who's hit subscribe, click the like button, notification bell. Anytime you interact with the show, like Pat said in the beginning, it really helps us out. We appreciate that to no end. And I think with that,
I'm PJ on behalf of the Beard, reminding you no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear.